we'll open the floor for questions. Birthday, what would you like to lead us off?
Sure. Oogie, this being your first action, how did that feel getting out there? And what do you think you got out of this tonight?
I mean, it felt good, It's been a while since I got to play basketball, but I enjoy it as much as I can, Nothing's promised, so I'm trying to enjoy it as much as I can.
What was your rehab process like? What have the past 2 months been like for you? Work back?
Well, it was just a lot of ups and downs, It was just trying to get better, I guess, every day. I mean, I'm still hurting, but it's not as bad as it was, but it's getting better for sure.
What was going through your mind when you hit that three and got on the board?
I was just happy to be there.
Was there more of an emphasis in the middle of the first half to just get paint touch and just get to the paint?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we didn't have much of adjustment on offense. We scored 41 points in the first half, so we were more focused on defense. Our game goal is to keep them under 8 threes, and they made 8 threes in the first half. So we really locked in on defense, and I think that kind of took care of itself. There wasn't a huge adjustment offensively, just keep the ball moving and keep getting to the foul line, which we did well. But it was mainly on the defensive side where we adjusted.
What were those adjustments defensively?
Just you got to pressure them, make it tough. They were moving the ball quicker than we were moving. We had to rotate better and just make their threes tough. They're getting too many open looks.
What do you think the next step is for you? How much more comfortable can you get? What do you want to?
I mean, just start playing more basketball, because past few months there's been a lot of lifting and not as much on court activity. So just getting back in shape, get shots up and just play basketball. That's it.
Don't look past opponents, but coming in on Friday, you guys have Michigan State, number 13 versus number 9. What are those expectations?
Yeah, I mean, we knew this was a huge game that you have circled from, when you saw that we were undefeated and had a good chance to be undefeated going into it, playing against a top 10 team. So, yeah, we know it's going to be really tough. They rebound extremely well. They play super fast. And we got to be ready to go or they're going to punk us like they did last year. So, we're going to be ready for it. We got to have a good 2-day prep, and we're really excited.
Sam, not that the crowds were not great for some of these other non-conference games in recent years, but this one in North Dakota, even with no students, the crowds have been really strong. I mean, has that surprised you guys, and how great is that?
I think you kind of look at the history of the teams I've been a part of. When you show that you play a product that's worth watching, the fans are really going to show up. We always have a good amount of fans, but I feel like it really fills in when we start playing well and we play a style that the fans enjoy. And this year we're doing a great job of that, and the fans are noticing and showing up for us, which is amazing and helps pull us out of ruts like we had in these 2 games and end up with a pretty good final score.
Percent you guys have been undefeated through non-conference play in about 100 years. How does that make you guys feel? That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, I mean, that's a crazy stat. We didn't know that. But you try not to think about that too much. You have a top 10 team coming in looking to make you lose that first game of the season, and we know we're going to get their best shot. So I don't think we're going to get too caught up in that right now. Maybe at the end of the season after we accomplish some of our goals, then you look back and look at the cool things you did. But right now I think we're just really focused on what we have going right now.
Sam, what do you think some of the biggest lessons are you guys can take away from the non-con? What have you learned about yourself from game 1 to now entering the 18 remaining conference games?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've kind of learned our strengths and weaknesses. When we move the ball, we score a lot of points, and that's been a key for us. Playing through our fives, having Oogie back's going to be huge. He can really score it and create for us. So I think offensively it's making sure we keep moving that ball, and then defense we have to be locked in, rotating really well, or things can break down like they did tonight, and we got to rebound better too. There's so many things to learn from all these games we've played, so it's hard to pinpoint them right now, but we're going to keep learning from them and keep getting better as the season goes on.
For you, first time playing in front of a big red crowd, they gave you a standing ovation when you came in. What was that like?
It was great, Just trying to enjoy as much as I can. I missed a lot of games. Trying to soak in all the experience I can. It feels amazing playing big crowd. 14,000 people that was here today. Just grateful,
Players? We'll keep it up with Coach.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
questions?
Go for it. Fred, on a night like tonight, it got a cold night. How much of a conscious effort was it to get downhill and get in the paint and get to the free throw line and all that?
Yeah, I mean, that was a big part of the game plan. They do a good job when you look at their analytics at taking away the three, and we really stressed to our guys to get downhill and get paint touches. I thought we had some good looks again. We're just not shooting the ball great right now. I'm confident that we're going to take the lid off. This team shoots it too well, and just need to get a little confident from outside. That being said, I really was proud of how the guys attacked and got to the line 18 times in the first half when the ball wasn't going in the basket. That was the big question I think people had about this team is could you win ugly, rock fight type of game? And, I think we've shown we've been very efficient inside the arc, and we're going to have to continue to do that, and it's only going to get tougher with the size of the teams we're playing against. So just, keep hunting it, keep working on that confidence, and those shots are going to fall. But I was really pleased when you look at what we did in the paint tonight, getting to the free throw line 35 times, and we needed it. We had to do it on a night where the ball wasn't going in from the outside.
Coach, with what lies ahead Friday, what was the message about focusing on tonight, take care of business tonight, or was there even a message?
Yeah, I mean, our guys believe me, we stressed that they had to be focused coming into this one. That New Hampshire team has played 3 of its best games of the season, their last 3, including their last one against St. Louis, who's top 30 in the net. They had a 2-possession game with a couple minutes left. So we knew coming into this one, if we took them lightly, we'd be in a hell of a battle at the end. And, you saw what they did in the first half. They make 8 threes. I thought our urgency on our closeouts were much better. I thought our rotations were crisper in the second half. They make 8 threes in the first, shoot 47%. They shoot 15% in the second half, and that was all because of the urgency that our guys showed on that end. I thought our hand activity was really good in forcing turnovers and getting out in the break. And then the other thing, in the first half, we're taking the ball out of the net. We didn't have as good a flow. And then second half, we really got it going in transition, either when we turned them over or got it off the board. And then I was really happy with our offensive rebounding. You got 16 offensive rebounds tonight as well.
What do you think Oogie got out of tonight? What step was this for him?
Oogie shook a lot of rust off tonight, and it was good to get him back out there in the second half. When the first half the other night, the flow of the game, he got a little stiff on the bench. Tonight he was ready, he felt great, and it was good to see him knock down that 3 and have a couple nice takes to the basket. We're going to need Oogie. Leo gave us, even though it's only a couple minutes, those are very valuable for him. We're going to need that size and length. Michigan State's big, a lot of times with Carr at the 3, and then, they've generally got 2 bigs in there at all times, and all are very skilled. So, and that's the theme. That's what we're going to see every night for the remaining 18 games of our schedule. I'm proud of our guys for accomplishing something that hasn't been done in this program, I think, since the 20s, Seamus, if I'm not mistaken. And, to go out there and now put this behind us and start focusing on the next one. It's going to be a mental day tomorrow. We've been doing a lot of rebounding drills and, in preparation for what's ahead.
What did maybe the slightly different sub-pattern with Frager and Kale as the first couple guys off the bench tonight?
Well, Braden generally has been the first guy, and then, Kale has subbed in for either Sam or Jamarcus. I think Jamarcus picked up a second pretty quickly tonight, and that's what got Kale in there. But those guys, they're a huge part of our rotation, and, Braden goes out and gets 15 points again off the bench, and he's been a rock star for us out there. And then Kale's just one of those guys that makes the right play every time. Jared, you can see him getting more comfortable out there as well. So, adding another piece, it's, minutes will go down a little bit, which is a good thing as we go on. Rink, I think, played 24 minutes tonight. I thought Burke was terrific all game long. Sam goes out and gets us 10 rebounds. And, total team effort tonight. I thought everybody that stepped on the floor made a contribution.
Is there any part of you that surprised you're 13-0?
We've just gone – I know you love this one. We've just gone one game at a time, and that's how we prepared, and that's what we're going to continue to do. And, you got to – whatever happens, you have to find a way to bounce back, whether it's a big emotional win. We've had some of those. Tough losses, you got to find a way to get over those. If you don't, you're going to get pounded the next time you step on the floor. We've told our guys, we've got an edit on their huddle accounts that they have to watch tonight. I told them if they don't watch it, don't come to practice tomorrow. And it's all in preparation of getting ready for Michigan State's speed. this is as fast as I've seen any Coach Izzo team play, and that's saying something. They get that thing up the floor as fast as anybody in the country, and then the physicality that we're going to have to go out there and play with. It's just it's a hard hat lunch pail game, and having a son that played in that program for 4 years, I know what they're all about, what their DNA is, and they line it up like the old Husker football team when they were running the damn ball, Mike, right? And the defense knew what they were running, but good luck stopping it, and that's what Michigan State does. And we're going to have to be on point for 40 minutes to have a chance.
What did you learn from the first half of this game, where there was some adversity? You obviously came away with the win, but what do you take from the first half and learn from that for Michigan State coming Friday?
Yeah, we've had some of those this year, obviously, including the last game against North Dakota, where we had the shots haven't gone in as much as we'd like. And we've been in a close game. We've been down at halftime in several games, but our guys don't hang their heads. That's the thing I've been as impressed of the 13 games. The thing I've been most impressed with this group is how they've handled adversity and how they've been coachable. And we chewed them out pretty good at halftime today, and they responded. They responded in a big way. All right.
Where has this team grown the most in the 13 games so far heading into the meeting?
That's a great question, Mike. I think we've grown in a lot of areas, but there's still a lot of room to get better, and we're going to have to get better. And if we get comfortable, if we beat our chest, then it's over for this team. We have to keep that edge, we have to keep that hunger, and we're gonna keep our thumb on them. All right, I got work to do, guys. Thanks.